Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to LOSV. Shout out to my LOSV fam. Hey guys. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about how we made the move to Florida. And I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of details of like what it took, how much money we spent on the move, and like how we planned to do the move and everything. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing when you're planning a big move from another state, we came from Ohio to Florida. First thing I did, I got me a big old notebook and I went straight to Google. I went straight to YouTube. I Googled how to relocate to Florida. It's so much information on how to relocate. It's step-by-step guides of what you need to do as far as like your license, getting your license or your ID switched over, how much it costs at the DMV. And another thing, in Florida, they do not call it a DMV. They call it the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles, or the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, short for DMV, BMV. In Ohio, that's what we call it, the DMV. Where you go to get your license at, where you go to get your tags at, your sticker for your car, you go to the DMV. Here in Florida, it's called the Tax Collector's Office. Did not know that. I found that out by doing research. So that's the biggest thing you need to do, is do your research. Do your research. Get on Google, get on YouTube. Research people that have moved, like this video. Research people that have made the move from another state to Florida, or have made the move from another state. You would get so much information. The biggest thing that I see a lot of people ask about is, how did you find a place? How did you find a place to live? Did you find a place before you got there? Did you find a place after you got there? We found a realtor. I found a realtor on Facebook, on a group. It's Facebook groups. Relocating to Orlando, moving to Orlando, moving to the Magic. It's so many Facebook groups out there that help people relocate, give you information. Orlando Moms Group, Black Orlando Moms Group. Even the different neighborhoods have different Facebook groups that can help you and guide you on the information that you need to make the move, or even while you're here. I'm still a part of those relocating to Orlando and moving to Florida. I'm still a part of all those groups on Facebook because they have valuable information. While I was on Facebook looking at those groups before I made the move, that's when I found a realtor. It's so many realtors on those pages trying to help people relocate. I found a wonderful realtor that helped us. We actually did put an offer down on the house before we got here. That didn't go through, and I'm happy it didn't, because we ended up not really even liking the area. It's an okay area, but it just wasn't where we wanted to be. Everything works out. Everything happens for a reason, so I'm happy that didn't go through. I think it's better to come to Florida or anywhere. I think it's better to rent first. Rent first. Get to know other areas so that you can know exactly where you want to be. Learn the areas. It is one thing to learn about an area by reading about it, but once you actually go to that area, visit that area, see what that area is like, it's very different. As far as saving money to get here, so honestly, we did not save like we should have. I know a lot of people that use income tax to move. I would say that's a beautiful option. If you get an income tax check, use that money wisely. Use that money to move. I'm gonna be truthful about how much it took for us to move. Our whole move, including, this is everything. This is including the U-Haul. This is including gas for both the U-Haul and for our car. This is including food that we food that we had to get while we was traveling and while we was here before we got our apartment. This is our down payment, our deposit for our apartment. The amount it costs for storage. What else? And also other stuff in between, just other things that we had to get, like going to Walmart, going to restaurants, doing entertaining stuff that we wanted to do, like, you know, just to have fun. And we was down here being tourists, like we was down here like, yeah, we in Orlando, we end up going to Miami, like we was just doing all type of stuff. So all of that we end up spending, I want to say, I don't have the exact number because this was a year ago. I would say we probably end up spending in between $4,000 to $6,000 on the whole move. And like I said, that's including everything. That's including our deposit on our house. That's including the U-Haul truck. That's including filling up gas from Ohio to Florida for a U-Haul and our car. That's including food for the whole time. That's including the storage facility, and all the other little things in between that you don't think about. Going back and forth to Walmart to get this, to get that, you know, getting little stuff that we might have needed for the apartment, getting little stuff that we needed when we was in a hotel. All of that. It was in between $4,000 to $6,000. So that's what it took for us to move. We didn't know, like we had a certain number in our head that we wanted to stick by. Like as far as the hotel, we knew how much we wanted to spend on a hotel. Like I calculated, okay, if we go to a hotel, we need to stay for a month. This is how much money. Each amount for every person is going to be different because it depends on which hotel you want to stay at. As you know, you have different, the luxury, the basic, the regular, you have different kind of hotels. So whatever hotel you want to go to, it might be different for the whole month. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at which hotel you want to go to, see how much that hotel costs for a month, put that money up. Go to see which kind of storage facility you want to, if you need storage for your items. If you're packing up your whole house like we did, we needed storage because we didn't have nowhere to put our stuff. So see how much the storage facilities cost. See how much U-Haul costs. If you want to go with U-Haul, if you want to go with Pods, if you want to go with any other moving company, get an estimate. See how much it costs. Write that estimate down. Make sure you write your the confirmation number down, because when you call back, if you don't got that confirmation number and they be like, oh, I got an estimate for such and such, and they be like, oh, we don't have that, we have a different number. If you quote them that confirmation number, they look that up, they will see what they quoted you. That's what I had to do. I got an estimate. Then I went back to U-Haul and I told them what my estimate was. It was like, oh no, we're not charging that. We got a different price right now. I said, boom, here is my confirmation number. They looked it up and they, guess what? They gave me that lower price because that's what I was quoted. So that's another tip. Make sure you write down all of your confirmation numbers for anything. Yeah, so we decided to go with U-Haul because it was the cheaper option for us. We originally wanted to do Pods. Pods was about $3,000 for them to drop off a pod at our house, us fill the pod up, them come and get the pod, and then bring the pod to Florida. They wanted to charge us $3,000 to move it from Ohio to Orlando. We said no. We contacted U-Haul. U-Haul said, oh, it'll be $1,000 and something. It was like $1,000 and something. I don't remember. And we was like, okay. My husband was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to drive the U-Haul and I'm gonna have to drive the car. We wanted to both be able to drive the car so we can relieve each other of the long ride, because driving from Ohio to Orlando, I think it's like about a 13-hour drive. So we wanted to be able to do the drive together in the same car, but we was like, okay, we're not paying $3,000 for Pods. We're going to just go ahead and go with U-Haul. And my husband was like, okay, I'll just go ahead and drive the U-Haul. You drive the car with Karaya. That's what we end up doing. So the biggest thing though is, you guys, save money. Save your money. Another biggest thing is, yes, Florida might have a higher cost of living than, like, say for instance, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky. But a lot of people actually move to Florida from like New York, California, and other big cities, Texas. A lot of people move to Texas too, but a lot of people move from those bigger cities because the cost of living in like California and New York is so much higher than it is in Florida. But the cost of living in Florida is higher than it is in Ohio. So it just depends on what you want. It depends on how you want to live your life. And it depends on, you know, the quality of life you want to live. Like, if you, for me, I feel like the areas of Ohio, like the area in Cincinnati that we was living in and where we wanted to move to before we decided to move here, we will be paying the same amount living there that we are living here. We paying the same amount. And as far as housing go, as far as buying a house, we probably could get a house cheaper there, but you can also get a house for the same amount here as you can get there. It just depends on what you want. The only thing about cost of living that's different here is, one thing I did not take into consideration was the toll roads, and it's just more entertainment here. And the entertainment here might be slightly higher just because it is a tourist attraction. I mean, everything is touristy. You have all these attractions. You have Disney, you have Universal, you have just Orlando in general. It's just so much to do, so many restaurants. I feel like the restaurants might be priced the same, but as far as like the entertainment and the things like the amusement parks, yeah, that's gonna be a little bit higher. And the thing is, when you live down here, you, of course, you want to do those things. That's why a lot of people move here, so they can do the things that there is to do here. I feel like, you know, if you want to do it, you'll make a way. Like, you know, that's why a lot of people move here, either for the sunshine or for the entertainment, the amusement parks, or the, just to be in this area with everything going on. It's just like, just being by the beaches, you know, just, it's something about Florida. To me, I love the palm trees. I love the tropical weather. I love the sun. I love the feeling I get of being in Florida. I love it. I love feeling like I'm living on a vacation. And that's how I feel. I honestly feel like I'm living on a vacation most days. It's just, I love it. I'm happy here. Like, I'm always happy. It's just a whole nother feeling to me. So, another tip, rainy season. Rainy season is basically all the summer. It literally can rain every single day. But the thing about rainy season is, it will rain every day around the same time, like in between 3 and 5 or something like that. But it will rain for literally about 20 minutes and it would dry up like it never rained. So it's like, it don't even matter. It's like, yeah, some days you might have longer time, it might rain. Some days it might rain, you know, but, and some days it might not rain. But, you know, you just always need to be prepared. Have you an umbrella, jacket, or something like that. And pretty much, you know, like, okay, if it started raining, like say you're out somewhere and it starts raining, give it 20 minutes. It's done. And guess what? Everything is going to dry back up and you're good to go. Then it's hurricane season. So I experienced my first hurricane season last summer, and it truthfully reminded me of a snowstorm, like wintertime snowstorms in Ohio, because it was just the same type of pandemonium. It was the same type of, like, in Ohio, it would be on the news, a snowstorm is coming, everybody needs to prepare. What everybody do when they prepare for a snowstorm? they instantly run out. They get groceries. They pile up on groceries. I mean, pile up on groceries. The stores be empty. The stores be packed. They pile up. They get supplies. You know, some people might have generators in Ohio and get generators in case the power go out. It's always like, it's either a snowstorm, it's an ice storm. I done been in situations where they have, in Ohio, they have ice storms, and the ice storms will pile up on the wires, the power wires outside, and break power wires, and people will be without power for a week or two at a time. You know what I'm saying? So when hurricane season came around, it kind of reminded me of, this is how people act when it's a snowstorm. So people go out to the stores and they go and buy up everything. They buy up all the food, they buy up all the waters, they buy gas for their generators. People go out and buy generators, flashlights, all of that, so they can prepare for in case the hurricane knocked their power out. You know, and people in houses, they get generators. A lot of people have generators. A lot of people go out and buy generators every year. So you get the generators, then you need gas for your generators. A lot of people with houses stock up on a lot of food because if your power go out, guess what? You got a barbecue grill. You can grill your food so that you can eat. You know what I'm saying? A lot of apartment complexes do not have generators. So if you're in an apartment complex, you might just be SOL. But I know that if the power go out, a lot of hotels will let people go to the hotel either for free or for a discounted rate, because a lot of hotels have generators, so they will welcome you to their hotels if it ever got that bad. Now, I live in Central Florida, so my research of talking to a lot of people that have went through hurricanes, that have went through, you know, hurricane seasons their whole lives, they say Central Florida really don't get hit bad because we are centrally located. Now, if we were on the coast, yeah, you're gonna get hit. You're gonna brace to get the brunt of it because it hits the coast first. By the time it gets to where I'm at, it has calmed down. Yeah, you might get a lot of wind, you might get a lot of rain, just like any other thunderstorm, severe thunderstorm that I have been through. I have been through very severe thunderstorms, tornado warnings, tornado watches. So it gets you probably in that type of a frame, like this is a severe thunderstorm. So that might be what it, from my experience so far. As far as the Hurricane Dorian that we had last year, my area, thank God, did not get affected whatsoever. We got a little bit of rain and a little bit of wind. We did not get, you know, everybody went out and prepared, and we did not really get affected by that hurricane, and I thank God for it. That was our first time experience a hurricane season. Now we are going into, well, we are in hurricane season, starts June 1st. We are in hurricane season. A lot of the hurricanes really don't pop up, or tropical storms, should I say, don't start really getting bad until about the end of August and September. So my opinion about hurricane season, I feel like living in Florida, I feel like you need to be ready. Like, don't have to get ready. You should be ready so you don't have to get ready. So I'm already piling up water, and then with this whole corona, I already have been stocking up my water, you know, stocking up my pantry with you know, non-perishable items, so that if we need, we will have food. We have coolers, you know, if we need to go out and get ice, we will have ice to put our food in. The coolers with And you know, we are not able to have a generator in our apartment building, but if we need to cook, like we have a little small grill if we need to cook anything on our patio or whatever. So that's just my opinion. Be ready so you don't have to get ready. When you come down here, instantly get ready to have a hurricane supply kit. Have your flashlights, have your candles, have your non-perishable food items, have your waters, you know what I'm saying? Have everything that you need so that you don't have to go out there in all the madness of people trying to fight through people to get, you know, basic supplies. You know, have all your household items, all of that. Just my thing is, especially with this corona, on top of the corona and on top of the hurricane season, be ready. Don't have to get ready. Don't be ready. Have your house stocked and ready for anything. That's how I feel. As far as places to live in Orlando, I feel like this is my opinion. The suburbs are probably the best places to live if you don't want to be in that traffic touristy areas. If you're anywhere in central Orlando, anywhere where it's going to be a lot of tourists, anywhere near the theme parks, anywhere near anything that got to do with fun Orlando life, you're going to be in a lot of traffic. It's going to be like, it's just going to be a lot of traffic, a lot of people. The lights are long, like the stoplights. You could be sitting at a red light for like 5-10 minutes. Like, no lie. Them stoplights in the city are long because it's just so much traffic. Another thing is, try to avoid I-4 at all costs. I-4 is doing this major freeway project where they're building freeways on top of freeways to try to relieve all of the traffic. And it's just a mess. It's a mess. I don't think they're going to be done for another year, I think, or maybe a year and a half. I don't know. But I-4 is a mess. I-4 is a mess. And when I go to Orlando and get off of the turnpike, I'm literally on I-4 for probably like 5 minutes and I'm off of it. As far as the tolls hit me in the gut when we got here because I really wasn't expecting it. When we came here for vacation, we never went through tolls. I think the only toll we went through was when we left the airport and we went to our vacation home. And after that, we never went through tolls. Even just going to Orlando and doing all the stuff, going to Disney, we didn't go through tolls. So I didn't experience that when we came for vacation. So when we moved here, I didn't think that we was going to go through tolls. But no, we're going through tolls. Tolls is a part of your everyday life. If you are going anywhere to Orlando, if you live outside of Orlando and you need to get to Orlando or go to downtown, you're going through tolls. And some of the tolls are pay by plate. So you're not necessarily stopping at a toll booth. You're just going, you're just driving, and they got cameras on a pole and it's just snapping at you, snapping your license plates. So that was something to get used to. I wasn't used to that. And tolls add up. So get you a Sun Pass or an Easy Pass, put you some money on there every month, and you know, do what you gotta do, or every week, however you want to do it. The tolls are something else. I feel like Orlando, like anybody that live here should not have to pay for tolls. I feel like it should be outsiders. Like, that's my personal opinion. Like, if we have to drive and do stuff for our everyday life, we shouldn't have to pay for all them tolls. It should be people that's coming in to. But you know, that's just what. Another thing about Orlando and the surrounding areas is the food. It's so many different cultures here. I love that. So many different food options. We have tried so many different things that we would have not ever tried in Ohio. So that was like, that's amazing to me. I love the different kinds of food here. I love the different cultures. I love the diversity that is here. But yeah, that's all I have. So that is all the tips that I can give you about, like, you know, how we did it, how we moved. Like I said, the biggest thing that you could do is get you a notebook and start your research. Yeah, you can ask people all day, like, how did you do this, how did you do that? Yes, we literally got our apartment when we got here. We like I said, we tried to find a place before we got here. It did not work out, so we got a hotel. We stayed in a hotel until we found our apartment. It happened really fast. By the grace of God, it happened fast, so I'm thankful for that. But it's thousands of apartments complexes. It's thousands of luxury apartment complexes. It's thousands of resort style apartment complexes and resort style living, so that you really truly feel like you're living on vacation, where you're living on a resort that is beautiful. So, you know, you have so many options to choose from. Another thing, HOA fees. Like in Ohio, you know, it was certain neighborhoods that had HOA fees. Here, every neighborhood, even if you're renting a house, HOAs is a thing. You're gonna pay some type of HOA fees, renting or buying. So get used to that. But a lot of people ask me, oh, where's your apartment? Like, where do you live and how did you find your apartment? Baby, just go online, look up apartments in Orlando, go to forrent.com, go to realtor.com, go to Zillow.com, look at rent, put in the amount that you're comfortable paying, and there are thousands of apartment complexes. Look up, research the area that you want to live in. Put that in the apartment places and look at the apartments. Research the apartment. Look online. After you get the name of the apartment, after you see all the pictures of it on either Realtor, Zillow, and all them other rent places online, get the name of the apartment, put it in Google and say reviews. Look at the reviews of other people that have lived there. See what they have to say about the area. See what they have to say about the management. See what they have to say about the apartments in general. You will, like, if that's research, that's doing research. Research where you want to be. Like, it's crazy that people really come up to me, or not come up to me, but really ask me on social media, where you live, how you find your apartment. I researched it. One thing is, I'm not going to tell y'all where I live at. Like, I'm not going to give my information and put my family life or livelihoods in jeopardy because I'm going to say where I live at on the internet. No, I am not. So, like, don't ask me where my apartment is at or where I live at. If you want to get you an apartment in Florida, just look online, call the people up, do your research. Everybody can do research. The internet is there for you to research. Get you a notebook, write down what your budget is. Make a budget for this whole move. You need to make a budget for your move. And while you're making a budget, that's your budget. But then you need to write down how much everything is actually going to cost and adjust your budget to how much it's going to really cost. Because your budget is probably going to be off. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have to look at the numbers of everything. Like I said, how you going to make the move? Either U-Haul, Pods, or whatever other moving company. How much is the deposit? How much do you need to put down? How much is it going to take for gas? Like, as far as gas, I believe, I don't know. I can't even tell you how much it took for gas. It probably took us about $300 for gas. I don't know. I probably filled up. I know for a fact that we filled up the U-Haul more than we filled up the car. The U-Haul took more gas than it did to fill up the car. The car probably took about, I want to say maybe 3 to 4 fill-ups. The U-Haul took more than that. So how much do it take to fill up your car? You might need, and then how long do your car run until it needs to be filled up again? See, I went by, when I used to drive from Youngstown to Cincinnati, or Cincinnati to Youngstown, that was a 4-hour drive. I used to go there on a whole tank of gas, and then I used to be able to ride around for a whole nother day before my gas was on empty. So I went by that. So if I can drive at least 4.5 to 5 hours before I have to fill up my tank. So that's how I calculated how much gas I would need. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's car is different. That's why you have to do your research. You have to. It is important. You know what I'm saying? You can't just ask. Like, yeah, you can ask people, and I can tell you, like I'm telling you now, I'm telling you what my experiences was. But my experiences is not going to be your experiences. The way my trip was is not going to be how your trip was. How much I spent, between $4,000 to $6,000, you might not spend that. You probably could spend lower than that. You probably might have to spend more. It just depends on how you make the move. Everybody's move is different. You know what I'm saying? But I guarantee you, you can get down here with a good $3,000. You know what I'm saying? You can make the move with $3,000 to $4,000 easily. And that's with getting an apartment easily. You can, like, you know, you don't have to go the way that we went. You know, everything can be done differently. You know, some people might not even need a U-Haul to come. They could just put what they got in their car and come down. You know what I'm saying? So it's different things that people do, and how people move is different. So that's my biggest thing. When people ask me, how did you make the move? I do not have any problems with telling anybody how we did it. But just know your move is going to be different from our move. So with that being said, I hope that I have given you guys some good information. My key thing is do your research. Do your research on the area. I didn't even say this. Do your research on the areas with the highest crime rate, the lowest crime rate. They have a whole website for that. You can just Google what is the crime rate in Orlando, and it'll just take you to a website that will tell you each neighborhood and what the crime rate is. It will tell you, like, even with neighborhoods of, you could say, what is the best neighborhood to live in Orlando? What is the best suburb outside of Orlando? So many websites. Guys, do your research. If you, and this is not even just for a move to Florida. This is for if anybody want to move from any state to any other state. Research is key. So, like I said, let me end this before I start adding more and more. I really hope that I can help somebody with this information. I really hope that I can help you. You know, you have to do your research. I really hope that you can, you know, take what I have and use it to help you get to what you need, you know. So, thank you guys for watching. Come back and join me in my next video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.